Hello, Sabrina. Good morning.
Hello, teacher. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good to see you. I'm good to see you again. How was your weekend?
It was good. I could rest because I had a busy week, so I could rest. I went to the church. I visited some relatives, and that's it.
Great, that's great. It sounds nice, like a relaxing weekend that you could do your activities. Yeah, we miss you in class. The last,
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't join.
yeah, but it's good that you're here today. Well, we're going to start right now because we are a little behind. So we have here this topic. We are going to learn about discourse markers, which are expressions that make communication flow more smoothly when you speak. You use these markers or these expressions. So you have here the different expressions. We have 12, and you have to match each expression with the function it serves. Sometimes more than one answer is possible. So what are the functions? The functions could be to open a presentation, to sequence information, to add information, to introduce similarities, to introduce contrasts, or to close a presentation. So you have to match what is the function with the expression.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, One in conclusion, F to close a presentation.
Exactly.
Next, um, to sequence information.
Next, okay? To sequence
B.
information.
Similarly, mm, to introduce similarities.
Mhm.
To begin, to open a presentation. Nevertheless, I'm not sure what is the meaning of that.
Nevertheless, mm, this is similar
Never.
to however.
Oh, to introduce a contrast.
Mhm.
In addition, to add information, to sum up. This is also new to me.
Sorry?
Sum up. To sum up is to close a presentation.
Yes.
First of all, to open a presentation.
To sum up, to open. To sum up is like to summarize.
Mhm. First of all,
No,
is
sorry. So sum up is okay. You can use it to open a presentation.
open a
Or
presentation.
sorry,
Or to
F
be
to close a presentation because it's the summary.
mhm,
7 is F. A,
mhm,
first of all,
to open a presentation.
yeah.
And likewise, to add information.
Likewise is letter D, to introduce similarities.
Mm,
Mhm. Because that's what it means, likewise.
mm.
What it means,
Gent,
thing. Jet.
to close a presentation.
Mhm.
Not sure.
Not really yet. You can use it to introduce contrasts.
Mm.
Mhm. First,
Okay.
second, and third.
To sequence information.
To sequence information, yeah, very good. And furthermore,
Um, mm, to add information.
to add information, yes. Good, very good. Okay, so these are the words that we use when we want to make communication flow smoothly, more fluently. So in this case, we have here like a speech, a script, and you have to complete each sentence with an expression. With the
Mm.
previous expressions. Let's see.
First of all,
Uh-huh.
let me thank everyone for your interest and attention as I speak on the topic of petroleum dependence or dependency on oil for our energy needs. There are important reasons why we should be concerned about our independency on petroleum. And
Maybe an expression to sequence information.
maybe mm, next. Um, First, maybe.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
First, petroleum-based fuels contribute to both pollution, air pollution and global warming. It's a very serious problem today. Uh, in addition,
Okay. It could be in addition, it could be
or second,
or next,
mm,
or
mm,
even further. Yeah. Okay.
okay, there is a limited supply of oil in the world. Therefore, we must reduce
Cool.
um,
Assumption.
fuel consumption and be prepared to replace petroleum with other sources of energy. There are many ways in which to do this on a large scale. First, we must produce fuel efficient cars. And second, maybe
Mhm, mhm,
we must encourage
mhm.
the use of public transportation. Finally, tax breaks could be offered to businesses that conserve food. Mm,
It's also to add information.
maybe third
Mm-hmm.
or next.
Mm-hmm.
Homeowners could also be offered tax incentives for food conservation. It's true that cutting down on consumption is beneficial to the environment. Mm,
In number 5, we have similarly
num-
or likewise.
mm, mm. 6. In conclusion,
Mhm.
we should keep in mind that cooling down too quick will have a negative effect on the economy.
Yeah, in number 6,
Nevertheless,
it has a contrast. There is a
contrast.
uh-huh.
Mm,
It's saying that even though it's good that we have to cut down on the use of fuel, it says that we also have to keep in mind that cooling down too quickly will have a negative effect on the economy. And the
In
last
conclusion,
conclusion, finally, or to sum up,
this problem has no simple answer, but if the government, corporations, and private citizens all work together, I feel we can solve the problem.
exactly. Mhm. So these are the different words that we can use when we speak. And I'm gonna require you to use these expressions in the next oral evaluation. It's going to be on Wednesday. I'm going
Okay.
to be sending you today the instructions.
Okay.
So you prepare and get ready. And you will use this course markers so you can practice them in the oral evaluation. Good. Now we have the listening part, getting your message across. We're going to listen to advice about speaking in public, which sometimes is not easy. And we have to choose the items that the speaker mentions. We have the audience, the outline, pronunciation, practicing humor, posture, eye contact, voice, questions, speed. Okay, so first you're going to choose and check the items that the speaker mentions. Later, we are going to complete the chart with the advice the person said. Okay?
Unit 10, Language, Lesson A, page 82, Exercise 5, Getting Your Message Across, Part A. Listen to advice about speaking in public. Choose the items the speaker mentions. To begin, let me say that making a presentation is often a source of anxiety for many people. They usually rank it as one of the things they least want to do. It's been said that some people fear public speaking more than death, but it doesn't have to be that way. Here are some tips to make your next presentation go smoothly. First, as a presenter, you need to consider your audience, the people who will be listening to you. Keep in mind what they want to hear from you. It's important to remember that your presentation is for them, not for some other imaginary audience. Second, let me stress that you need to create an outline. The outline contains the ideas you need for your introduction, as well as the main point of your presentation, and, finally, your conclusion. Keep it clear and simple, without too many details. With your outline in hand, it's time to practice your presentation. You might choose to practice in front of a mirror, with a friend, or you might record it and listen to it after. Practice will make you more confident. Next, let's talk about giving the actual presentation. Humor can be very useful at the beginning of a presentation, as it puts the audience at ease and gets them on your side. So, if you can, you should start with a joke or funny story. Posture is very important. Don't stand up there like a stick, holding on to the table or podium with both hands. Try to look relaxed and natural, even if you're feeling a little nervous. Eye contact is also very important, but keep in mind that you shouldn't stare at any one person or area for too long. Keep moving your eyes slowly around the room from person to person. Your voice should sound friendly and natural and should be expressive rather than flat. After your presentation is complete, always welcome questions from the audience. However, too many questions from one person can be tedious for the audience, so ask those enthusiastic questioners to speak with you afterwards, one-on-one. In conclusion, some preparation, practice, and following the right steps should give you enough confidence to stay calm for your next presentation and not fear it.
Okay, so when listening the first time, which items does the speaker mention?
The audience, the outline, practicing, humor, posture, eye contact, and questions.
Yeah. Okay, it says also voice. Mhm.
Voice.
Okay. Now we're going to listen the second time, and this time have to write the advice you hear about the audience. What does she say about the audience, about the outline, about practicing, about humor? What is the advice?
Unit 10, Language, Lesson A, page 82, Exercise 5, Getting Your Message Across, Part A. Listen to advice about speaking in public. Choose the items the speaker mentions. To begin, let me say that making a presentation is often a source of anxiety for many people. They usually rank it as one of the things they least want to do. It's been said that some people fear public speaking more than death, but it doesn't have to be that way. Here are some tips to make your next presentation go smoothly. First, as a presenter, you need to consider your audience, the people who will be listening to you. Keep in mind what they want to hear from you. It's important to remember that your presentation is for them, not for some other imaginary audience. Second, let me stress that you need to create an outline. The outline contains the ideas you need for your introduction, as well as the main point of your presentation, and, finally, your conclusion. Keep it clear and simple, without too many details. With your outline in hand, it's time to practice your presentation. You might choose to practice in front of a mirror, with a friend, or you might record it and listen to it after. Practice will make you more confident. Next, let's talk about giving the actual presentation. Humor can be very useful at the beginning of a presentation, as it puts the audience at ease and gets them on your side. So, if you can, you should start with a joke or funny story. Posture is very important. Don't stand up there like a stick, holding on to the table or podium with both hands. Try to look relaxed and natural, even if you're feeling a little nervous. Eye contact is also very important, but keep in mind that you shouldn't stare at any one person or area for too long. Keep moving your eyes slowly around the room from person to person. Your voice should sound friendly and natural and should be expressive rather than flat. After your presentation is complete, always welcome questions from the audience. However, too many questions from one person can be tedious for the audience, so ask those enthusiastic questioners to speak with you afterwards, one-on-one. In conclusion, some preparation, practice, and following the right steps should give you enough confidence to stay calm for your next presentation and not fear it.
Okay, Sabrina. So tell me about the audience. What is the advice you must follow when you speak in public?
About the audience, you need to know your audience and consider who will be listening, because we have to keep in mind what what they want to listen from us.
Yeah, it's important to take it into consideration, right? Because you're going to choose the type of language according to the audience. It's not the same talking to teenagers than speaking to an audience of adults, or the audience is the audience can be children, so the way you will speak is going to be totally different. The way you're going to address your speech. Okay, what about the outline?
The advice is to create an outline that contains your principal ideas for your introductions and then the conclusions, that it doesn't have so many details. And I mean, just a conclusion to be like,
And it says that you have to keep
I
them
mean, to go to the point, maybe.
exact, simple and clear.
Mhm.
Simple and clear, because if not, you can get confused.
Mhm.
But it's important to have an outline because it's the way you're going to be organizing your speech. Okay. What about practicing?
Practicing is very important before your presentation, and you can practice in front of the mirror with a friend, or maybe you can record your voice and then listen it, and that's it.
Yeah, that's a good way of practicing in front of the mirror because you can see yourself, how you see yourself. Okay, what about humor?
It's a good idea to begin with a funny story, maybe, because you can break the ice with your audience.
Yeah, it can make the audience feel ease and also you will feel better if you start with something funny or a good story, a joke. Yeah, humor helps a lot. I like when these speakers use humor because it makes you feel better and more interested. Posture.
Posture, it's very important, and it's important that you look like relaxed and natural.
She said that it's not good that you look like a stick, right? It's important to
Maybe walk and
exactly the body expressions are important. Eye contact.
eye contact, and it's important that you don't see just to one person or one space in particular for too long, because it will be like weird, maybe. And but you have to try to look the audience.
Yeah, that's important too. To look at different, I mean, it said
Different.
I had to move, right?
Mhm.
The eye contact moving around, right? Looking at different people at one time. Voice
And try to sound friendly and natural.
and questions. What's the advice?
And
You have people making a lot of questions.
it's nice to welcome questions at the final. And it's important that maybe take turns for the audience, maybe one and one, because it will be weird, maybe, that just one person asks so many questions.
Yeah, that could be tedious. So if
Yes.
one person is asking a lot of questions, you can address them at the end after
Mhm.
after the speech afterwards, right? You can have a space to answer the questions the person has. Okay, great. Great, Sabrina. Good job. Okay, well, we have here this part, persuasive writing, but I think we're going to skip it for the moment because we need to continue on the next topic. So I'm going to leave it for homework, this part. The page 83, writing, persuasive writing. It's going to be homework because of we are behind the schedule
Okay.
program. So let's go national language. What's correct language? Well, is it the same the way we speak, the way we write? What do you think, Sabrina? Is it the same? What happens when we speak? Do we speak the same way we write?
No, it's different.
It's different. And now with the technology, when we, for example, text messages, we use other type of language. So
Mhm.
here we're going to learn about statements about language and choose statements you agree with. Okay, read the statement and then tell me if you agree or not.
One, most people don't need to write well. Speaking is more important. Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. Why?
Because it's important to write well. It maybe for a job it's very important when you write your emails, sorry. And it's very important.
Okay, now I have this opinion for some people. Some people think that when speaking English, speaking is the most important. You don't need to know how to write in English because what's important is speaking. So what do you think about that?
In my case, I think it's important to me to learn writing because I need to write the word to know how to pronounce it. And also because I can remember in my mind how to write that word and I can remember the meaning and how to pronounce it. So in my case, it's very important because I need to know how to write the words.
Maybe you are like me that I'm a visual learner. So I need to see the word.
Mhm,
I need to see the word to know, to remember the meaning, the pronunciation.
mhm,
And
mhm,
well, you can see in this picture that the teacher has circled many words and it says, please use a spell check. So yeah, when we write, like in your case, writing emails at work, that's so important, right? Because maybe you're writing to coworkers, your boss, your manager, or clients. So it's like writing like with spelling mistakes in Spanish. That is a horror, right?
mhm.
So the same happens in English. Okay, what about the second statement?
The majority of teenagers use too much slang. Agree. It's true, I think.
And they use it in speaking and also in writing.
Mhm,
When they speak it. Okay. So I have here sometimes the way they speak is not proper. For example, when they use the word, I would say it in Spanish, they use the word demasiado. And even that word has a negative connotation, but they use it even in positive things for them. For example, they say demasiado bueno. And
mhm,
effects that is not good. So, but they use it like they use this word like very like too much.
mhm, mhm.
Hmm. In every word they say, in every expression they say. Okay, what about the number 3? 3/4 of email messages contain grammar errors. Wow.
60-60, I think, because when you are writing emails and the app, or I don't know, the program, Microsoft, for example, have the auto correctly, I don't know.
The spelling check.
So the spelling check.
Spelling check.
So it can correct you
Exactly. It's
before
important.
to sending.
Yeah, that's a great help because you see, oh, what's the problem with this word? So the spelling checker can help you. Okay, when you, in Word, but also in when you write emails, sometimes some emails programs have that help too.
In my case, when I have to write emails in English because some of our suppliers are from China.
Mhm.
And we also can communicate through English. But every time I have to write an email in English, I use Grammarly. That is a website, so I can correct my email before sending.
Sabrina, that's great. Okay, good. What about the number 4?
No one expects emails to be correct. Disagree.
Well, as a teacher, I expect emails to be correct. Okay, number 5.
There are plenty of people with foreign accents who speak English well. Agree.
Yeah. Plenty of people with foreign accents like Salvadorians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, there are Salvadorian people who speak English well, right? They sound pretty well. Okay. And number 6.
None of us has the right to correct other people's grammar. Disagree, because, for example, in your case, you are a teacher. You have the right to correct me and your classmates.
I have the right. That's my job, right? I have to help you. That's the way. But you know what? When you are with friends or with other people that are not your students, believe me that it's difficult not to say something.
Yeah, maybe when we are with friends, uh, always that you maybe you can correct them, but in a friendly way, maybe not rude.
Exactly. That's how we have to do it, right? And now, try not to make them feel bad.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, there are people who don't like to be corrected. But for
Mhm.
example, when I see when my husband writes emails, um, reports, so sometimes he asks me to check his writing because yeah, he needs that. And well, that's good, right? Because he's asking me to do it. Mhm. It's good. Okay. Number 7,
And then all body
varieties.
va- varieties
Varieties.
varieties of English are equally valid. Every variety is
Variety.
correct.
Variety
Variety.
is correct.
Agree.
Yeah, because it's the way these people speak in each place. For example,
Mhm.
we have Australian English sounds. I don't know if you have. I don't know if you have ever heard an Australian speaking English or with Australian accent. You have to pay attention carefully, but it's valid because that's the way the people speak in that place. It's like the varieties of Spanish. We have a great range of Spanish speakers. We have this, for example, the Spanish from Spain, the Spanish from Venezuela, the Spanish from Argentina, right? It's different, but it's valid because it's Spanish. So the same happens in English. We have also the Belizean English is a little bit different. They speak Criollo English. So it's different, but it's valid. Okay. A lot of advanced grammar is complicated even for native speakers. Agree or disagree?
Agree, because I think in Spanish, I don't remember every topic that I see in high school or in the school about language. So I think it's the same.
Yeah, they don't even know sometimes. Sometimes the English learners know more about the grammar than the native speakers. I mean, they speak, but they don't know the rules, so they don't know the grammar. And we know the name, right, of the grammar rules of. So it's advanced grammar can be also complicated even for native speakers. Okay, and 9.
Only majority of my friends cares about speaking correctly. Disagree. I think my friends are care about it.
They care about that. Okay. Yeah, my friends too. They care about speaking and writing correctly. Yeah. Mostly because many of them are teachers too, or professionals. Okay, even if they are not professionals, but they think it's important to speak and write well. Okay, so good. We're going to finish on that part right now because I'm going to end the meeting. But before I end the meeting, I don't know if you can see the chat, the messages I send you. For example, you
Yeah,
said the principal
principal.
ideas. Well, we use main ideas. We say main ideas, okay? To say las ideas principales, main ideas. Principal has another meaning in English, like for example, the director of a school, that's the principal, the school's principal.
Okay.
Okay, so we say main ideas or main points. And the spelling checker is the assistance we use in Word, for example, to check the grammar is a spelling checker. That's the name.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Let's reconnect.